Harmlessness is a universal principle. It is a way of living that seeks to minimize harm to ourselves, others, and the world around us. This principle is deeply rooted in both Eastern and Western spiritual traditions. In Buddhism, it is known as ahimsa, a fundamental precept guiding ethical conduct. Christianity also emphasizes love and compassion, urging followers to love your neighbor as yourself and to forgive 70 times 7. But what exactly is the principle of harmlessness? If we truly follow it, does it mean we not even injure a blade of grass or an insect? What is the true essence of harmlessness? As with all principles, the second key of judgment must be used to apply them in life. To follow the principle of harmlessness does not mean that one will never cause pain or discomfort to another. There will be times when every option seems to involve some degree of harm. Here is an example. Jim has a fatal attraction toward Julie. Julie senses the danger and tells Jim she's not interested in a romantic relationship. Jim is hurt, but the overall hurt suffered is much less than would have been the case if Julie had gone contrary to her will, become romantic with Jim and then cut him off. Harmlessness does not mean that you will never hurt anyone. Instead, it means that when you are faced with a decision that you will choose the more harmless of the two choices. For instance, in the example above, Julie chose the path of harmlessness because she made the least hurtful decision. Another example, it was the path of harmlessness that was taken by the Allies to stop Hitler during World War II. If Hitler had won, great harm would have been carried out toward humanity. Can you avoid offending others? Now, there are a number of offensive things a person can do that will be harmful and takes one off the path. If one calls people names, insults them, or speaks harshly without justification, then more harm will be done than good. But he who follows the spiritual path and lives by the highest he knows may find himself offending many who are emotionally polarized. It is interesting, though, that a disciple with soul contact will rarely be offended by anything another disciple does or says. Life is complex, and we are constantly faced with difficult decisions. In these situations, the principle of harmlessness guides us to choose the path that minimizes suffering. The principle of harmlessness could therefore be distilled as follows. He who follows the harmless path seeks to do harm to no living thing, but realizes that indecision can often bring more harm than a wrong decision. He will therefore not shy away from decision, but will use all his wisdom to make choices that will produce the most harmless direction. Ironically, the disciple will often have to step on a few toes when he chooses the path of harmlessness. The path of least harm may not always be easy, but it is the path that leads to greater peace and harmony.